Good afternoon, JCPS. Happy Friday. I know it's been a different week, difficult for some of us. Students, I hope you enjoyed the extra day off. Clearly, we had weather issues this week, and as I've said before on our weekly wrap-up, these decisions can be some of the most difficult that we have to face when deciding whether we go to school or don't go to school, whether we have a 2-hour delay or whether we start on time. And so earlier in the week, Wednesday and Thursday, we knew that we had significant cold, well below zero. That was going to be a dangerous risk for students to be at the bus stop, and so we wanted to err on the side of caution and allow students to stay home. And then on Thursday, from the snow that came in overnight, we had a lot of side roads that had problems. This morning was the most challenging of them all. And so if I look tired, it's because I've been up at 4 a.m. every day making decisions, or at least this morning, decisions about whether to go to school or not. And we have a team from operations and myself discussing road conditions. And the reason this morning was difficult was because we had a system coming in about 7 a.m. And so when we're talking at 4 a.m. about whether the roads are safe for travel, we're also dealing with, there's a system coming in a couple of hours. So although we felt at the time that we could go on time, we were worried about that system coming in as well. And so we always want to err on the side of caution. So we did have 2 days off this week and a delay this morning, and I know that made it difficult on schools. But we are glad you got back in school today. Hope you came back, rested up, ready to go for this Friday. And also that you get to have the weekend, and you're going to come back next week. Looking at the weather, we're hoping that we get a full weekend next week and can get a full week of learning. So get rested up, come back ready to go next week. Also last week, we had to talk a lot about bullying and suicide, unfortunately. We've been continuing that work this week, and we've made some progress to make sure that we provide the technology to our students that they can report bullying in a confidential way, and we can respond immediately to that. So we talked last week about increasing our technology around reporting of bullying situations in our schools. And we wanted to highlight some of the work that is active and ready for students right now. So students and parents, if you go to our web page, you will see that there's 2 links now that are highlighted that weren't there last week. One is the big box at the bottom of the page. You can click on that and fill out a form. We'll be very responsive to that report and make sure that our schools act quickly on that information. And there's also one at the top of the page that students can click on. Either one of those will take you to a report that you can fill out in order for us to respond. Also, students, in your Google account where you access your backpack, if you hit the toggle and look right next to your backpack inside your Google page, where your backpack is located, right next to it will be an icon that you can also click on, and that will help you access this report that you could report bullying. So we want all our students to feel safe at school and report any incidents that you would like assistance on, and we will make sure to act quickly. So those are new tools that we have put in place just since last week when we did this report. Also, we're working on a Suicide Prevention Summit, as I talked about last week. We've set the date for that, March 21st. We're going to be inviting superintendents from all over the state to join us in this summit, this day of awareness and training. We're going to have our administrators and staff at this event too, and really increase awareness around suicide prevention. We'll continue this important work, and we're going to be a leader in this work here in JCPS. And finally, on Tuesday, it was the 100th day of school. Always great pictures from the 100th day of school, where we see some of our elementary school students dressing up for the event. Lots of fun events at our elementary schools. But for me, it was a chance to reflect on the great progress we've made in JCPS around some of our data, achievement, and initiatives, backpack, racial equity, culture and climate that we've worked on to move forward. Very proud of that work. We have 73 days left, so it's just as important that we have a great final 73 days as our first 101 days. So students, rest up. Teachers, staff, rest up. Come back ready to go next week, and let's have a great week next week. Have a good weekend.